solve 1 over x minus 1 plus 2 over x plus 2 is equal to x to the power of 2 over x squared plus x minus 2. Can somebody tell me what would be your first step to solve for this? You're definitely going to see this problem, something like that, for the final exam. First, we need to factor this. Of course, it would be x and x, 1 and 2, you get plus 2 minus 1. So what's the next step? Next step is what? To find what? Anyone? Find the LCD. Very good. Find the LCD. So here we get x minus 1 times x plus 2. Let me open your response in the chat room so everybody can see it also. Here you go. So everybody can type and everybody in class can see what you're typing. So what is the next step after that? Once you find the LCD, what do we do next? This is the tricky part. A lot of people tend to add these two. They want to add these two. We don't add them. We have a response here. So multiply each term by LCD. Exactly. You multiply each term by LCD. Don't forget, this is over 1. You multiply each term by LCD to reduce the fraction. So you take the first term and you multiply it by LCD. You take the second term and you multiply that by LCD. So your next step would be to reduce the fraction. And then here we have x minus 1 times x plus 2 over 1 times the last term here, which is here. So the next step is to reduce. As you see, we can eliminate all the fractions, and that's the reason we do this, to eliminate all the fractions. All of them turns to 1. Now, so the first term would be x plus 2 only. The second term, you would have x minus 1 times 2, and the last term would be x to the power of 2. So you see, this equation here is identical to the one that we had originally, except we don't have any fractions. It's a lot easier to solve. Again, so if you have an equation involving fractions like that, you find the LCD and then you multiply each term by LCD and reduce. You don't add them. Okay? And then there's some restriction involved. Here we have x minus 1. You want to make those restrictions at the top. X minus 1 cannot be equal to 0, so x cannot be equal to 1. Does that make sense? That's one restriction. We cannot have x equal to 1. Because if x equal to 1, then the first term would becomes undefined. Also, x plus 2 cannot be equal to 0, so x cannot be equal to negative 2. So if I solve this problem and I find x equal to 1 or negative 2, I should exclude those answers as a part of my real solution. And here also x cannot be equal to 1, x cannot be equal to negative 2. So these are the restrictions, as we cannot have x be equal to those numbers. To solve for x, that's pretty simple now. We go x plus 2, you distribute, get 2x minus 2. I'm going to move the x squared to the one side of the equation by subtracting x squared from both sides of the equation. So here I get minus x squared, combine like terms, I get plus 3x, and the 2 cancels out. So here I get this. If I go ahead and I can multiply each term by negative if I want to, if I don't like that minus 1 over x squared, and I can factor the x. There we get x minus 3. So these are my answer: x equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0, so x is equal to 3. And we have to make sure check our answer, make sure none of the answers are the restricted one, which they are not. So these are your solution: x equal to 0 or x equal to 3.